This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
A late-night fire sends 3 firefighters to a hospital. Now here at 5 o'clock, we're learning about how they're recovering this morning.
Plus, a Seymour woman finds a baby in a plastic bag on the side of the road. This morning, we're hearing from that woman who made the startling discovery. Time now is 5 o'clock on your Thursday morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Meredith Barrett.
And I'm Lauren Casey. Todd Clausen is with us this morning to talk about our forecast. And Todd, it is a chilly start to our Thursday.
Yeah, you know, cooler. As soon as those clouds cleared out, those temperatures went way down into the 30s in some locations. And that's why, once again, this morning, we're talking about the potential for a little bit of patchy frost. In fact, there's a frost advisory that's in place for our extreme northern counties. It includes Miami County, over to Carroll County, into White County as well, and then into Grant and Blackford County, and points to the north. So that's the best opportunity for some frost because the temperatures there are running just a little bit cooler. That's 37 in Peru right now, 38 in Tipton, 40 in Bloomington. That's also 40 in Indianapolis. Any way you look at it, though, you need to have the jacket as you walk out the door this morning. A little bit of high, thin cloud cover out there. And unlike yesterday when we could not break that cloud cover, today we should be able to as the winds start to relax and that area of low pressure continues to push a little further off towards the east. So it turns into a pretty nice day for us. Still a little bit below normal, but the sunshine makes a world of difference. So even though we're only up to 57 degrees later on this afternoon, it'll feel pretty pleasant out there as the winds continue to subside as well. We'll talk about your Friday and look ahead to your weekend, Lauren, coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. We're keeping a close eye on your roads this morning, and here's a look at our map. Around the metro area, we do have some road construction that might slow you down a little bit. Up here on the north side, we have road construction along I-465 and Keystone Avenue. Now, the map's showing delays, but I think you'll still be able to get by just fine. It's just a little bit heavier at this hour, and let's take a live look at it right now. Here's our INDOT traffic camera at I-465 and Keystone Avenue on the north side. You see those flashing lights, but you can also see traffic is still moving through that area of the north side. This is a spot we're going to keep an eye on this morning, and we'll keep you updated.
New this morning, 3 people are recovering after a shooting on the city's north side. Officers responded to near 30th and Capitol around 11 last night. Someone called in saying a person had been shot, but when they arrived, they found 3 people with gunshot wounds. The victims were taken to the hospital. Their conditions are not known this morning. Police also have not released any information about a possible suspect. The hours leading up to this shooting on Capitol Avenue were violent as well. Just after 9 o'clock, 2 women were shot near 38th and Sherman. They are expected to survive. Then less than an hour later, 1 person was killed as the result of gunfire on Edgemere Court. Police have not released any suspect information in those cases as well. In total, 6 people were shot in just a span of 2 hours across the Circle City.
Here at 5:03 this morning, investigators are still trying to figure out what caused a late-night apartment fire in Lawrence. That massive fire started around 8 o'clock at the Mason Gardens near 42nd and Post Road. Several people were called 911 when they spotted flames shooting through the roof. 3 firefighters were injured while fighting this fire, and they've since been released from the hospital. A woman was also reported missing during the fire, and she's been safely located. At least 8 families have been impacted by the fire this morning. The future of a newborn baby left in a plastic bag is forever changed by a woman who found her Tuesday morning in Seymour.
And this morning, we are hearing from the family who made that shocking discovery. Our Kelsey Anderson joins us live this morning. And Kelsey, we have since learned that baby wasn't just laying in plain sight.
Yeah, that's right. According to Angela Butler, the woman who found the little girl says that she was not in plain sight at all. She was actually kind of under a tree off the road, so kind of far away, and luckily her dog was sniffing it. So take a look at this video. This is the area that the just hours old baby was found. Butler says she found the baby by chance when she was walking her dog Tuesday morning. She tells RTV6 her dog was sniffing and became enamored with whatever was in that bag, and that's when Butler realized what exactly she was seeing.
Told my boys, I said, go with me to make sure that I'm seeing what I'm seeing. And we fixed it. I had Jesse pick it up, and sure enough, it was a little newborn baby wrapped up in a blanket. The blanket was covered his face and tied up in a Walmart, double knotted, tied up in a Walmart bag.
Butler and her son called 911 immediately. An emergency crews came and got the baby. Again, she is said to be doing well this morning. Now, Seymour police, announced that they did make contact with someone that they wanted to talk to in this case, but we've got no other updates since then. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Kelsey, thank you very much. Visitation will take place today for an Indiana State trooper who died in a crash while responding to a call Friday night. Visitation for 27-year-old trooper Peter Stephen will be at the Crossroads Community Church in Kokomo from 2 until 8 this evening. A funeral service will be tomorrow at 11 a.m. inside the same church. Investigators say Stephen was responding to help another trooper when his patrol car veered off of Old State Road 25 in Tippecanoe County Friday night. Stephen was a 4-year veteran of the Indiana State Police Department. He leaves behind a wife and 5-month-old baby girl. You have a chance to make sure your driver's license or state ID card is fully up to date, and if it needs to be if you would like to fly anywhere. If you don't have a star in the corner of your license or ID, you need to act soon. Today and tomorrow, Indianapolis International Airport is partnering with the BMV to host a Real ID event. The deadline to get a Real ID is October 1st, 2020. If you plan to go to the Real ID event at the airport, you are asked to sign up online first. And before you head to the airport or BMV to get a Real ID, you need to gather some important documents. What you will need to prove your identity includes a name and date of birth, as well as a social security number. You must also have documents that prove your Indiana residency and your lawful status in the United States.
At 5:06, a proposal to expand a metal trading facility in Madison County will be discussed next week. Some of the people there are worried about the plan's impact on their health and safety, and they reached out to RTV6. Working for you, we reached out to Nuco company leaders. They say the new facility in Ingalls will allow them to melt, recycle, and repurpose aluminum. They say the impact to the environment will be minimal, but some neighbors are not so sure.
If it is dangerous, say so and tell us how they're going to guard against stuff like that. You know, don't act like it's not there.
So my kids play right here on the trampoline, and the building's supposed to literally go out there maybe like 500 feet.
Nuco released a statement saying it's committed to environmental safety and security. The Ingalls Board of Zoning Appeals will meet on Monday to talk about that proposal.
Getting enough food to eat seems like a simple enough thing, but if you can't get food for your family, it changes everything. Now, residents on the Far East Side have a new option when it comes to getting the nutrition they require. The David Nolan Pantry of Hope at Hope Center Indy is now open for business. Kroger has invested $15,000 to create the pantry. One worker we spoke with says you can sometimes take for granted having access to healthy food, and working at this pantry has already taught her some lessons.
One of the women, when she very first got here, she really wanted some food. She saw food that we had on the table, and she started just pulling it, holding it under her arms. And I realized then that what food scarcity meant. For some of us, we have food all the time, and we don't even think about it.
That new pantry, sponsored by Kroger, is on Brookville Road near South County Line Road. At 5:08, we're going to take a check at the weather with Todd.
Yesterday was a really windy and cloudy day for us, and you needed that jacket from start to finish. Today, you probably want to have the jacket handy, but the big difference is today we will get into the sunshine right away, and we will keep the sunshine at least once it comes up, which is a little before 8 o'clock. So your morning commute is a quiet one once again weather-wise, with mainly clear skies and temperatures that'll be averaging right around 40 degrees. And there's just a few high thin clouds out there right now, but all the rain has now pushed well off to our east, and the winds continue to die down. So as we work our way throughout the day today, our normal high is 65, still about 10 degrees below normal here throughout the day today. 57 in Tipton, 56 in Marion. Southern locations should crack the 60-degree mark here in Seymour, close to 60 in Bloomington. Then in and around the metro area, we're looking at high temperatures that will be in the upper 50s to right around 60 degrees. So yes, below normal, but with light winds and sunshine, it'll feel pretty nice out there this afternoon. But we do have a warming trend. We're talking 70s by the weekend. More on that coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Well, if you have a Honda parked in the driveway, thieves could be targeting your vehicle. Just after the break, the very important part that they're taking.
And the Indianapolis Colts are one win away from the first place in the AFC. After the break, how the team is preparing for Sunday's big game against the Texans. We'll be right back.
Days from 4:30 to 7.
Thieves are stealing airbags from cars, and Medford, Massachusetts police are warning Honda Accord owners to be on the lookout after a rash of recent break-ins. They say thieves have been smashing through car windows, then ripping out the airbags. Over the past few weeks, thieves have been striking at night, targeting Honda Accords across the city, leaving victims with a big mess and big bills to pay. It's estimated that about 50,000 airbags are stolen every year. But why? According to the National Insurance Crime Bureau, they're a hot commodity.
Well, Honda's a popular car. From what we're seeing, they steal them, they put it on the black market for sale. On a black market, it's probably worth, $500 or $600.
It's unclear why Honda Accords specifically are being targeted, but police are asking people to be vigilant and watch out for strange cars or people that may be casing a car.
It is 5:13. The father of a Sandy Hook victim has won a lawsuit against a conspiracy theorist. Lenny Posner was awarded $450,000 in his suit against James Fetzer. Posner lost his 6-year-old son Noah in the deadly shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, Connecticut back in 2012. Noah was one of 20 children and 6 adults killed in the massacre. Fetzer wrote a book called Nobody Died at Sandy Hook, claiming the attack was not real. Posner said the book has caused him to receive numerous threats.
A new study says vaping can lead to lung inflammation. It shows that using e-cigarettes just twice a day for a month can lead to small lung inflammation. The inflammation is linked to 2 liquids contained in e-cigarettes, propylene glycol and glycerin. The study's author says it's still too early to determine that e-cigarettes are harmful to your health, but he says it's safe to say that if you're not a smoker, you should stay away from e-cigarettes. The study has no direct connection to the ongoing outbreak of deadly lung disease linked to vaping, whose cause is still under investigation.
A Florida state senator wants to ban some sunscreens that could harm marine life. A bill would ban the sale of sunscreens with oxybenzone and oxytonazate unless it is a customer has a prescription. Researchers believe the 2 chemicals could cause coral bleaching and eventually kill the reefs. Coral reefs are home to 25% of all marine life, but the bill is reportedly getting pushback from other legislators and even doctors. According to the CDC, Florida has the 2nd highest rate of melanoma or skin cancer in the country. Here at 5:15, we don't really have to worry about being in the sun too much today, Todd. It's been kind of gloomy the last day or so.
Yesterday was gloomy, but we do get the sunshine back today. That's the good news. But the sun obviously losing some strength here as we make our way through the middle to latter half of October. So today, not as windy. That's a big thing I think you'll notice as you get out and about throughout the day today. And as I just mentioned, the sunshine is set to return. And with the sunshine and the lesser winds out there, the temperatures are going to be able to warm a little bit throughout the day today as we'll get back into the mid-50s. Live look outside right now, and skies have started to clear. I can see the nice bright moon on my way into work here this morning, and you should do the same if you're getting out and about before the sun comes up. Sunrise officially at 7:57 here this morning. 40 degrees right now. There's those winds out of the northwest at 9 miles per hour, and they'll continue to diminish here throughout the day. Yesterday, those winds were up around 20 miles per hour throughout much of the afternoon hours, and that gave us a little bit of an extra chill to the air. And the actual temperatures this morning are down into the 40s and 30s, 35 in Crawfordsville, 37 in Peru. There is a frost advisory that's in place across some northern counties here in central Indiana. It does not include the metro area or points to the south. And overall, the Midwest is pretty seasonable for this time of year, to maybe just a few degrees below normal. But you notice there's not a ton of warmth out there that's going to surge into our forecast throughout the day today. So we're only talking about our temperatures going up about 15 to 20 degrees here later on this afternoon. Here's some high thin cloud cover. The front from yesterday is now well off to the east. It's turned into a big storm system in New England. So if you do have flight plans that take you, say, to Boston here today, make sure you check with your airline, as there's a lot of wind and a lot of rain there in Massachusetts and other locations in upstate New York and Vermont and Maine and such. But here, it's just some high fair weather clouds at times throughout the day today. And here's how it breaks down for you hour by hour. 49 degrees by 11 a.m., 55 degrees by the time we get to 2 o'clock this afternoon. And then high temperatures today, around 57 to 59 degrees, depending on where you are, with those mostly sunny skies this evening. It'll be clear. Temperatures will fall back down into the 40s pretty quickly once the sun sets, which is at 7:03 here this evening. And then tomorrow morning, it's another chilly one. In fact, some of you could be right around the freezing mark as we start off our Friday. But the good news is throughout the day tomorrow, we warm really, really quickly. Should be a beautiful day for us with highs getting back up into the low 60s. High school football games look like they are in great shape tomorrow evening, as we'll see temperatures cool back down into the 50s. Your weekend forecast, a little bit warmer. We're into the 70s as we get to Sunday and then into Monday. Stray shower possible on Saturday. Better chance of showers and thunderstorms as we get into Monday and Tuesday of next week. Lauren.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. We're keeping a close eye on traffic this morning. Here's a live look at I-865 a little west of Ford Road. Looks like traffic in both directions is moving along just fine this morning. We'll continue to keep an eye on things for your morning commute, but we want to take a look at our traffic now map at this hour. Some other areas we have construction that you may want to watch out for this morning. North side here at Keystone Avenue. It looks like things are slow, but I think traffic is moving along just fine. That's just showing you where that road construction is this morning. And then down here on the south side, as they're heading south on 65 past I-465 towards Southport Road. Just watch for crews in that area. Let's take a turn right now to the southeast side, I-465 and Arlington Avenue. Traffic here is moving along just fine, both eastbound and westbound. No crashes right now around the metro area to slow you down.
It feels like forever since the last Colts game, but that changes this Sunday. First place will be on the line in the AFC South. The Colts spent Wednesday working indoors. The team is working on getting back up to full health. Darius Leonard returning from a concussion, and Clayton Geathers is back from his. There's also Jacoby Brissett on just how high the stakes are for Sunday's game.
It's a division game, and those are always the toughest. And, you know, they know us so well. So it's hard to say, like, all right, we're going to go just out-scheme them. It's more so, you know, we just got to play our football, play really good football for 60 minutes and, you know, go from there.
Houston comes in Sunday with a half-game lead after they beat the Chiefs last week, but the Colts could pick up a game with a win on Sunday. The blue and white are listed as a 1-point favorite.
At 5:19, the Indy 11 were looking to stay undefeated at home as the team played host to Swope Park. Despite Swope Park's struggles this season, Kansas team made the 11 work for those points. A physical first half saw the two teams combine more yellow cards, a total of 5, than shots on the goal. But then the 11 pulls out the win, bringing their home unbeaten streak to 25, the final 2-1. Playoffs begin next Saturday at IUPUI's Carroll Stadium.
It is what fans have been waiting for at Franklin Community High School. It has been decades since they've won this much. After the break, how the Grizzly Cubs are finding inspiration from their head coach.
Drive at Honda of Fishers.
Well, this Friday, the regular season finale of Friday Football Frenzy. If you can believe it, sectionals begin next week.
Franklin Community has been one of the stories this fall, and for many reasons. As our Dave First explains, it is one win at a time.
The occasional crop duster flying over the stadium is about the only thing not new around Franklin football. Winning has been a constant theme this season, most in some 25 years.
I think it's more of a team mentality this year, more guys buying in and more guys coming together.
The Grizzly Cubs defeated Whiteland for the first time in 16 years, beat Plainfield for the first time in 6. But ask around, there was another notable victory.
How did you notice it? I was shaving, had a lump in my throat. What did we just do over there?
Just last year, head coach Chris Cole was in a battle with throat cancer. The game plan, radiation and chemo. And it was clear to everyone, this, like the tough times this program's had no chance.
When you get that news, though, your heart stops.
It's a little shocker. Yeah, absolutely. But it's like anything. We preach a message here, dealing with adversity and learning how to handle adversity because it'll help you later in life. Well, I've been telling kids that for years, and I got to take some of my own advice, and we just dealt with it. Hey, you know what you're doing?
He says he dealt with it in the spring. Chris's son Cody, an assistant on the team, saw it up close.
inspiring at all?
I don't think I heard him complain one time through the whole thing. And, afterwards now he might complain that his taste is a little different, that he doesn't get to enjoy the same foods that he did before. That's about it.
When I was going through it, I've had relatives, I had friends deal with a lot worse, whether it was cancer or other health issues. So, I just dealt with it.
This season, everyone on the schedule is dealing with Franklin. And it's clear that it'll now be this way for years to come.
I think every team for the last 20 years that come through here has said, we're going to be the group that changes this. We're going to be the group that turns this around. We didn't turn it all the way around, but,
Good. You're starting something, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of a relief to finally see him, seeing all the hours that he puts in and how much he dedicates his own personal life to this football program.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Is this the start of something big for this program?
You know what? Right now, don't know, don't care. All we're trying to do right now is focus on the season. As far as the future and where we're at as a program and all that stuff, we'll worry about that in the winter.
All right. Well, can't believe it's the end of the regular
seems like
season.
it just started.
I know, and it was warm for so long, Todd, that it really seemed like it had started, but now it's finally feeling like fall.
Yeah, it's finally football weather, and tomorrow evening all those games look like they'll be in great shape weather-wise with temperatures in the 50s this morning, though. Let's get you out the door on this Thursday morning. We're talking about a little bit of patchy frost potential this morning, mainly in northern locations, but then otherwise plenty of sunshine, but chilly. We'll be right around 38, 39 degrees until about 9 a.m. That's when we make the jump up into the 40s. Then later on this afternoon, we'll see high temperatures eventually in the 50s and 60s across the area. Time now is 5:27. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Today at 10 on RTV6. This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Coming up on Good Morning Indiana, 3 firefighters were injured while fighting this apartment fire in Lawrence. What we know right now about the damage.
And the family that found a baby left abandoned in a plastic bag is telling their story, what they're saying about the shocking discovery. But first, here at 5:30, we want to thank you for joining us. I'm Meredith Barrett.
And I'm Lauren Casey. We first want to get a check of your forecast. Todd Klotson is standing by with some chilly temperatures. You'll want to grab the coat before you head out there.
Yeah, everybody's dealing with temperatures that are in the 30s or low 40s here this morning. Some of you are under a frost advisory by the National Weather Service. All the advisories you see here came out of the Northern Indiana office, not the Indianapolis one. So that's why there's kind of a difference in counties here. But Peru over towards Hartford City, Marion over into the Logansport area, frost advisory in effect. It's about 9 a.m. here this morning. At that point, temperatures will be a little bit warmer and the sun will be up, so that'll help to get rid of some of that frost. But we're at 40 in Terre Haute, Bloomington, and Indianapolis. But here are some of those cooler temperatures. Logansport, you are down to 34 degrees here this morning. Kokomo at 37. As far as cloud cover goes, yesterday we had that solid overcast sky. We were dealing with the wind. The clouds broke up overnight. That is the good news. The winds in the process still of kind of calming down for us, but they'll continue to do so here throughout the day. And it turns into a sun-filled day for us. And with that sunshine and the lighter winds, temperatures are able to warm today. We'll be out of the 40s by the noon hour, 52 degrees. Then high temperatures eventually this afternoon will be topping off close to 60 degrees.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. We're keeping a close eye on a construction project here on Southport Road. This is at I-65, and you can see the workers there on the ramp system and off the road. It looks like on the right side of your screen, traffic on the interstate is still traveling up to speed, both northbound and southbound, so that is great news. Let's take a look right now at our Traffic Now map, planning out your commute heading in from the east side along westbound I-70. It's a 10-minute drive right now from Post Road to I-65 there at the north split. No issues to slow you down. So let's take a look right now from our INDOT traffic camera up on the northwest side. This is where we have ongoing road work, I-65 near 38th Street. You can see right now traffic's moving along without any delays. We'll continue to keep you updated throughout the morning. New this morning, 3 people are recovering following a shooting on the city's north side.
Emergency crews responded to the 3000 block of Capitol Avenue around 11 last night. When they arrived, they found 3 people with gunshot wounds. The victims were taken to the hospital, and we are still waiting to find out their conditions this morning. Police have not released any information about a possible suspect.
And a homicide investigation is underway after a person was found dead on the northeast side of Indianapolis last night. Metro Police were called out to the 4100 block of Edgemere Court on reports of shots fired just before 10 p.m. When they arrived, they found a person there dead. Police have not released any information about the victim's injuries at this time, but anyone with any information on either of these investigations, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers. That number is 317-262-TIPS.
Investigators are still trying to figure out what caused a late-night apartment fire in Lawrence. The massive fire started around 8 p.m. at the Mason Gardens apartments near 42nd and Post Road. Several people called authorities saying flames were coming from the roof. 3 firefighters were injured. They have all since been released from the hospital. A woman was also reported missing during the fire, but she has since been safely located. At least 8 families are impacted by the fire. The future of a newborn baby left in a plastic bag is forever changed by the woman who found her Tuesday in Seymour.
And this morning we are hearing from that family who made this shocking discovery. Our own Kelsey Anderson is joining us live this morning. And Kelsey, all of us are wondering about this little baby. Do we know the condition of the baby this morning?
Yes, we do know that that little girl is doing well this morning, and that's all thanks to Angela Butler and her son, Jesse Milligan. Take a look at this video. This is the area that the just hours old baby was found, and as you can see, it's kind of off the beaten path. It's not right there where Angela could have found her. So it's away from the road. It was she was sort of tucked under the tree, but Angela Butler says she found the baby by chance when she was walking her dog Tuesday morning. She tells RTV6 her dog was sniffing and became enamored with whatever was in a plastic bag, and that's when Butler realized what exactly she was seeing and went to go get her son for help.
There's a little bag over there, and I see a little footprint pop out. I pick it up and I untie it, and there's a little blanket covering its face. I pull it out. I'm holding this baby in a plastic bag just back there.
Butler and her son called 911 immediately, and emergency crews came and got the baby. Again, she is said to be doing well this morning. Now, Seymour police announced that they did contact a person that they wanted to interview in this case. We don't know anything else, though, as far as that. That's the last update we got from Seymour police on this case. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Kelsey, thank you. Metro Police want to know if you recognize this car. Investigators say it is stolen and connected to a double homicide on the south side. We've been following the case since last week after someone shot and killed 2 people outside Southport Crossing Apartments. The car is described as a 2004 Monte Carlo cherry red with 2 doors. License plate number 485RIV. If you see this car, please call 911 immediately.
A high-profile trial up in Fulton County is expected to continue today, and it could possibly go to jury by tomorrow. Alyssa Shepard is facing several charges in a crash that killed 3 siblings at their bus stop in Rochester. It happened almost 1 year ago. 7 witnesses took the stand on Wednesday, including the mother of the victims. She testified about the moment she saw her 2 sons lying in the road and her daughter in a ditch. Defense attorneys did not question her.
The end to a month-long strike for General Motors workers could be in sight as they reached a tentative contract agreement. Bargainers for the UAW and GM reached a tentative contract deal yesterday. The strike has shut down factories across the country, including several here in Indiana. Details surrounding the deal have not been released, but officials say this deal offers major gains for workers, including pay raises. 2 union committees still do need to vote on it. Then it needs approval from members.
At 5:36, Indigo's Red Line, it's been open for a little more than a month now, and already residents are talking about the Blue Line, even though that project is still 3 years away. At a packed community meeting last night on the west side, residents there expressed their concerns about seeing Washington Street transformed into a road with a bus lane in the center. They say the bus lane would make a single lane for cars stretching from Cumberland Road on the east side all the way to the airport on the west. Brandon Evans from Indigo says that's not exactly the design.
Yeah, there's different segments along the Blue Line. It is a very large project, right? It runs almost county line to county line on Washington Street, and so there's different sections of it. Part of those sections do have dedicated lanes.
Construction on the Blue Line is set to begin in 2023 after the construction of the Purple Line starts on 2021.
One of the biggest high schools in Indiana does not have sidewalks in front of it, and now parents are making a push to change that.
someone's going to be killed. On 10th Street specifically, there are several apartment complexes where students, children, families cross directly across the street jaywalking, which isn't ideal, but just trying to get to groceries or convenience stores. And we have the same issue here on Girls School Road where people are crossing where they can, as safely as they can, but it's a big risk.
Jennifer Witt lives across from Ben Davis High School. There are no sidewalks along Girls School Road right in front of the school. She's trying to raise awareness about the dangers of walking in that area. Working for you, RTV6 took the issue to Counselor Jared Evans, who has successfully pushed for other sidewalk projects.
One of the things that we are looking at doing is a Girls School Road project, and that's a reconstruction and adding a sidewalk. Currently, that is projected to go from Perimeter Road to Rockville Road. However, State Representative Carly Macer and I are both working with the city to extend that further up to 10th Street.
We also talked to the Department of Public Works. DPW says it shares the community's concerns, and Girls School Road from 10th to 21st Streets is already identified as needing a sidewalk. But right now, the city does not have the funding.
At 5:38, today is your last chance to get a free Pacers flag ahead of next week's season opener. The team is giving away flags from 11 until 1 at the entry pavilion at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. The giveaway started yesterday. The team hopes to see blue and gold all across the city in celebration of the upcoming season.
Put a flag out, put it in your window, put it in your yard, show your pride as we gear up for next Wednesday.
That's opening night against the Pistons. Ahead of the game, there will be a party outside of Bankers Life Fieldhouse and a concert on Georgia Street. As for this morning, as you're heading out the door, maybe sending the kids off to the bus stop, Todd, what do they need to wear?
They need to bundle up here. We're getting probably pretty close to having to throw on maybe some light gloves or a hat with the kids, especially with their coat, because temperatures are dipping down now into the 30s in many locations, especially if you have to stand out there for an extended period of time. You'll get a little bit of a chill there. So 39 degrees on average as the kids head off to school. A little bit colder in some spots to the north. And as the kids come home from school, the good news is it's going to be a brighter day for us with plenty of sunshine. And we're going to get that high temperature up to right around 57 degrees today here in the city. Some 60s possible down to the south, but we're all in the same air mass. So in general, everybody's going to be within a couple degrees of each other for afternoon highs. But today actually starts a warming trend that's going to take us all the way into the weekend. As we work our way tomorrow, we're into the low 60s. We should be into the 70s for Saturday and most of Sunday. And then we do start to cool back down as we work our way into next week as a front comes through. The next best chance of rain will be on Monday and Tuesday. More on that coming up in Maine weather in just a few minutes.
Todd, thanks. U.S. delegates in Syria are in Syria to discuss a ceasefire deal, but lawmakers are still at odds over withdrawing troops from the area. Coming up, why top Democrats walked out of a meeting with President Trump over the issue.
And 500,000 kids could lose their qualifications for free school lunch. Still ahead, what the USDA says about the changes to food assistance programs.
And here at 540, we're keeping a close eye on your roads this morning. Let's take a trip up to the north side where it looks like some road work has wrapped up here at I-465 and Keystone Avenue. Everything's traveling up to speed, both eastbound and westbound. Stick around. We'll have more news, weather, and traffic coming up just after the break.
Vauxhall Gens XR.
Welcome back. The time right now is 5:44. It's your Thursday morning, and here's a live look at your commute over on the west side, I-465 and I-74, where traffic's traveling up to speed. We'll continue to keep you updated if there are any crashes or delays. But right now, we do want to get to some breaking news we're following. This just came into the RTV6 newsroom. We have learned that Congressman Elijah Cummings has died. The 68-year-old was a congressman from Maryland's 7th Congressional District, representing much of Baltimore. His office announced his death this morning. They said that he passed away due to health complications. Cummings was the chairman of the House Committee on Oversight and Reform and would have played a key role in the Trump impeachment inquiry.
This morning, a U.S. delegation led by Vice President Mike Pence will be looking to broker a deal to end the crisis in Syria. Pence traveled to Turkey to try to convince Turkish leaders to agree to a ceasefire, but lawmakers here at home are still at odds over Trump's decision to withdraw U.S. troops. ABC's Elizabeth Herr is in New York with details.
President Trump standing by his decision, pulling U.S. troops out of Syria.
Turkey is taking land from Syria. Syria's not happy about it. Let them work it out.
The president also tweeting pictures from a White House meeting on Syria. In one tweet writing, "Do you think they like me?" referring to top Democrats who sat stone-faced before walking out of that meeting.
He was insulting, particularly to the speaker. She kept her cool completely, but he called her a third-rate politician. Go ahead,
What we witnessed on the part of the president was a meltdown. Sad to say.
Pelosi later making one of the pictures Trump tweeted her new Twitter cover photo and claiming the president was shaken by this earlier vote in the House.
On this vote, the yeas are 354, the nays are 60.
House Democrats and Republicans voting overwhelmingly to condemn the president's withdrawal of American forces from northern Syria, a move that cleared the way for a planned Turkish assault on Kurdish forces, a decision facing mounting backlash even from one of Trump's closest allies. Senator Lindsey Graham on CNN.
He will have American blood on his hands if he abandons Kurds because ISIS will come back.
No, Lindsey Graham would like to stay in the Middle East for the next 1,000 years.
Late Wednesday, the White House released this letter President Trump wrote to the president of Turkey, which read in part, "Let's work out a good deal. You don't want to be responsible for slaughtering thousands of people, and I don't want to be responsible for destroying the Turkish economy, and I will." As for that White House meeting on Syria, White House officials maintained the president was measured, factual, and decisive, and that Speaker Pelosi walking out was baffling, but not surprising. Elizabeth Hur, ABC News, New York.
At 5:47, proposed changes to the food stamp program could leave nearly 500,000 children without access to free school lunches. The U.S. Department of Agriculture released the report on Wednesday. The proposed rule change was unveiled back in July, and it restricts the policy to make it easier for Americans with slightly higher incomes and savings to receive food stamps. Because of the income adjustment, it would no longer directly qualify children for free meals based on their participation in SNAP benefits. Right now, we do want to get a check of our forecast. And what's it feel like out there this morning, Todd?
You know, it's chilly here this morning, so let's kind of put things in perspective for us because it's been kind of up and down here temperature-wise throughout the week. Monday, we were in the 60s, then in the 70s on Tuesday, and then yesterday was really, really chilly with the clouds and the wind. So our normal high this time of year is 65 degrees. Today, we're still below normal as we'll get up to about 57. Yesterday, we got into the low 50s late in the day. The difference is, in this time of year, sunshine makes all the difference in the world. And today, we get that back. So even though we're going to be a little bit below normal, high temperature-wise, it will feel fairly pleasant if you're going to be out and about in that sunshine. You step into the shade, it's going to be a lot cooler. If you're thinking of lunch on a patio, you're definitely going to want to find one in the sunshine and not in the shade, as, again, it'll make all the difference there, whether you need to keep the jacket on or you can kind of just get away with a lighter long sleeve shirt. With northwest winds this morning at 9 miles per hour, those have come down. They continue to diminish compared to where we were yesterday when they were gusting over 20 miles per hour. The temperature sits at 40 degrees right now in the city, but lots of 30s once you get outside of downtown Indianapolis. 38 in Greencastle, 37 in Martinsville, 38 is the current temperature as you make your way over into the Richmond area. So there's a few high thin clouds moving through northern portions of the area this morning, but no rain. So your commute's going to be a dry one. The rain from yesterday is off towards the east, and you look back to the west, and there's not a whole lot going on, and that's the sunshine that we will enjoy in our forecast here going forward throughout the course of the next few days. So during the course of today, we'll warm quickly with the sunshine right off the bat this morning. Should be up to about 52 degrees by the time we get to the noon hour. Then 57 will be our high temperature for the day today. And this evening, we're looking at 56 degrees by 6 p.m. Once the sun sets, though, we do cool off into the 40s pretty quickly. And then by the time you wake up tomorrow morning, it's another frosty start to our day, 32 to about 37 degrees as we kick off our Friday. But tomorrow, we are going to be able to warm the temperatures even a little bit more. We're talking about the return to the 60s with skies that'll be partly cloudy across the area. Should be a very, very nice afternoon, and that's going to lead to a nice evening. Last week for all the high school football games, we were dealing with that cold rain, with that cold wind, and we are going to be dealing with pleasant conditions, it looks like, this week. That's the good news as we wrap up the regular season. 55 degrees with sunshine at 7 p.m. And then a light jacket will be needed once the sun sets on Friday evening. It's going to cool off pretty quickly back into the 40s. But the weekend features temperatures in the 70s. Just a small chance of a stray shower late in the day on Saturday. I definitely wouldn't bank on at this point. And then as we get into Sunday, a little bit warmer at 72 degrees. The best chance of rain, and there could be some stronger storms potentially on Monday. Something we'll have to keep an eye on. down. And as we get into Tuesday, some showers linger, followed by cooler temperatures once again as we push through much of next week. Lauren?
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Let's take a look right now at your drive times over here on the west side of town. As you're traveling in on eastbound I-74, you can expect just a quick 7-minute drive from State Road 267 through the Brownsburg area to the I-465 ramps. No problems there. Taking a look down on the south side of town, you may run into just a few slowdowns here at I-65 and Southport Road from our INDOT traffic camera. You can see we did some road construction there in the overnight hours, but the interstate traffic looks to be traveling about up to speed. That's on the right side of your screen. We'll continue to keep a close eye on this spot and any other issues you may run into for your morning drive, and we'll keep you updated.
Classes for thousands of kids at Chicago Public Schools are canceled today as teachers begin to go on strike. The strike comes after the House of Delegates rejected the most recent contract from the district. The teachers are asking for smaller class sizes and better support staffing, including counselors and nurses. Educators are planning to picket at the schools and hold a march this afternoon. In honor of Barbie's 60th birthday, you can now stay in her life-size dream house. After the break, a look inside the pink Malibu mansion. That's coming up.
19.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. It is 5:55 here on your Thursday, and let's take a live look right now to our north. This is I-65, a little north of 30th Street. You can see the orange barrels there for construction, blocking at least one travel lane here, but traffic's traveling smoothly both northbound and southbound there at this hour. We'll keep an eye out for any crashes and keep you updated this morning.
Barbie's dream house isn't just a dream, and now you have a chance to stay in it. Airbnb is offering 2 nights in the beachy pink Malibu home. It's all in honor of Barbie's 60th anniversary. And on top of the ocean views, some pretty inspirational women will be there too. From pilot and aerospace engineer Joe Myers to Kardashian stylist Jen Atkin. The price tag? Just $60 a night. Airbnb will open booking on the 23rd. The stay is the 27th through the 29th. And Todd, I know you haven't gotten me a birthday gift yet, so $60 for, you know, a night there isn't too bad. I mean, a plane ticket to LA might be a little steep, but you probably have some miles or something, right?
Sounds like a bargain, right?
Yeah.
Look, I mean, I'm not a huge Barbie fan, obviously, but it's great views, right? Looking out on the ocean and everything. So you never know. You never know. You'll have to just wait till your birthday to find out.
Okay.
All right, outside right now, it's chilly. 30s on almost all locations, the exception of Muncie at 42 degrees, 38 in Indianapolis. Unlike yesterday, when we had the clouds in place and a few showers, skies are mainly clear this morning, and that's going to allow temperatures to moderate pretty quickly this morning, up to a high of 57 degrees later on this afternoon with a mixture of sun and clouds. Yes, we're still below normal, but we get the sunshine back and these winds much calmer than they have been over the past 24 hours, so that'll feel very, very comfortable. So it's not a bad Thursday. A warming trend heads our way heading into the weekend. More on that coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues. Stay with us. The time now is 5:56.